Well, Tampa Bay, the place we all call home, is one of the 10 fastest growing regions in the country.
But I-Team investigator Adam Walser tonight uncovering that building boom is causing flooding in new neighborhoods.
I'll be honest with you, it's been pure hell.
Vivian Jimenez Perez says her Seminole Heights backyard won't dry out, thanks to big new homes recently built behind her.
That shed of mine has been there for years. Never had the water come all the way up as far as it has or into it, which has happened this year.
They tend to stomp.
Other neighbors notice water and muck spilling onto Ola Avenue and the sidewalk.
It's just a mess. It's a sloppy mess over here.
The I-Team obtained dozens of photos, emails, and inspection reports from the Tampa Building Department, verifying flooding in neighbors' yards, despite pumps and gutters installed to try to stop it.
All the things they have told us would resolve the problem have been done, and the problem has only gotten progressively worse.
The I-Team found flooding is becoming worse in local neighborhoods as the Tampa Bay area building boom continues on once vacant land, leaving stormwater runoff with nowhere to drain. It's already a serious problem in a new subdivision in Apollo Beach, once the site of a tomato farm.
But when it comes from off the side of the house, it runs here, and then it comes and runs through our driveways and everything.
Water's coming everywhere.
Everywhere. It's just everywhere. It can start sinkholes and everything else around here. It don't just affect me, it affects all the houses around us and everything.
So be careful where you step because there are lots of puddles of standing water.
We visited that neighborhood more than a week after it last rained and found saturated yards.
Yeah, the machine tells you the flow velocity in feet per second.
Mark Ross is a hydrology professor at USF. He says what's going on in those neighborhoods doesn't surprise him.
It was a flooding area before it was a backyard.
And it's a flooding area later.
Yes, that's right. Even more so after you put 50% imperviousness in an area.
Impervious surfaces like driveways or sidewalks don't allow water to soak through, so runoff then flows to low-lying areas, according to Ross.
Permit requirements are for homes to be above flooding levels, not for yards. And so frequently after development, there are low-lying areas that flood.
Ross says disappearing wetlands make the flooding worse.
Traditionally, there was 40% wetlands in West Central Florida. Now there's like 25%, and a lot more of the areas that were wet are now developed.
The Hillsborough County Environmental Protection Commission regulates wetlands. That agency says it's reviewed 1,700 requests to build on wetlands since 2017.
People are going to try to get what they can. And we're going to make sure that our rules are enforced.
Wetlands Management Director Andy Schipfer says Hillsborough County has a rule which allows building on or near wetlands as long as developers can convince the agency the impact would be minimal. But the I-Team found builders can also get a green light by buying credits to build wetlands in another part of the county or state.
You can construct similar wetlands elsewhere. This water up here is going to either be flowing to that or it's going to be contained.
There are some protected wetlands which can never be built on, but only those shown on this 1938 aerial map. The rest is fair game to apply for development.
Our goal and our rule is no net loss.
What has been the net loss since 1989, 1990?
Depends on which particular records you look at and how you look at that. There are different ways to look at it. So when you start looking at the balance sheet of what's gained and what's lost, you have banks here, you have banks elsewhere, so some comes in, some comes out.
Florida currently has 107 of these so-called wetland mitigation banks, created to give developers the credits needed to build on local wetlands.
Take a look down there.
But these banks do not help people downhill from new construction.
We can't even sell and get out because people look at the houses, they like the house, they go in the backyard, and they go running.
We reached out to the builders in both Seminole Heights and Apollo Beach. Both said they complied with all requirements, and both declined multiple interview requests. I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser taking action for you.